Thank you. And Cush begat Nimrod, and he began a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. Genesis chapter 10, 8 through 9. He began to be a mighty one on earth. He wanted to become a ruler of a great world empire, and he attempted to do it. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. This doesn't mean that he was a wild game hunter. Sometimes a little boy is given an air gun, and when he goes out and shoots a sparrow, his folks say, "My, look at that. He's a little Nimrod. He hit a sparrow." But Nimrod wasn't shooting sparrows or hunting wild game in Africa. He was a hunter of men's souls. That is the thought in this passage. And in the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Calneh, the land of Shinar. Genesis chapter 10, verse 10. He was the founder of these great cities in the land of Shinar. Nimrod had quite a story when you could get from the secular history. Alexander Hislop, in his book, The Two Babylons, give the background, which I'm not going to repeat here, but it's a fascinating story of how Nimrod was responsible for the Tower of Babel. It was he who attempted to bring together the human race after the flood, in an effort to get them united into a nation of which he became the great world ruler. He was a rebel, the founder of Babel, the hunter of the souls of men. He was the lawless one. He is the shadow or a type of the last world ruler, the Antichrist, who is yet to appear. The first great civilization, therefore, came out of the sons of Ham. We need to recognize that. It's so easy today to fall into the old patterns that we are taught in school a few years ago. Now, the black man is wanting more of the study of his race, and I don't blame him. He hasn't been given an opportunity in the past several hundred years. The story of the beginning of the black man is headed up the first two great civilizations that appeared on this earth. They were from the sons of Ham. Nimrod was a son of Ham. I'm not going to attempt to develop the line any further. You see, we're following the pattern set by the Holy Spirit, in which He gives the rejected line first and then drops it. We're going to turn now to the line that will lead Abram and then to the nation of Israel and finally to the coming of Christ into the world. It is this line that we will follow through the Old Testament. God is bidding goodbye to the rest of humanity for the time being, but He'll be coming back to them later on. Let me give you a quotation from Safir's book, The Divine Unity of the Scripture. The 10th chapter of Genesis is a very remarkable chapter. Before God leaves, as it were, the nations to themselves and begins to deal with Israel, His chosen people from Abraham downward. He takes a loving farewell of all the nations of the earth, as much as if to say, "I'm going to leave you for a while, but I love you. I've created you, and I've ordered all your future." And their different genealogies are traced. Now, in chapter 10, 70 nations are listed. 14 of them are from Japheth. 30 of them will come from Ham, and don't forget that. It'll give you a different conception of the black man at his beginning. And the 26 nations come from Shem, making a total of 70 nations listed in this genealogy. Seems to me that God is showing us what He's done with the nations of the world, why the white man in our day has been so prominent. Well, I'll tell you why. Because at the beginning, it was the black men, the colored races, they were prominent. The sons of Shem made a tremendous impact upon the world during the time of David and Solomon. And you will notice that from Shem there came others, Assyrians, Lydians, and Armenians, and the Arabians from Joktan. This great nation appeared next. Apparently, we're currently in the period in which the white man has come to the front. Seems to me that all three are demonstrating that regardless of whether they are a son of Ham or a son of Shem or a son of Japheth. They are incapable of ruling this world. I believe that God is demonstrating this to us, and to see this is a tremendous thing. The next one's sons of Shem.
Oh, okay. And this next section is the sons of Shem.
Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born. That comes from Genesis chapter 10, verse 21. And unto Eber there were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Genesis 10 and 25. When I went over this verse in a previous Bible study, I received all sorts of weird interpretations of what was meant by the earth was divided. Now, it refers to a physical division here in the earth, that the earth had undergone some tremendous physical catastrophe. Well, my friend, all that Moses is simply doing is anticipating the next chapter in which he will give us the account of the Tower of Babel. At the time that earth was divided, may I say the simple interpretation seems to be the one that a great many folk miss and should not miss it. Now let's just pick up the final verse of this chapter. These are the families of the son of Noah after their generations in their nations. By these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. Genesis 10 and verse 32. I want to submit to you that this is one of the great chapters of the Bible, although we have given very little space to it. You can see what a rich study this would make for anyone who really wanted a fair appraisal of the human family. A great many have used this remarkable chapter for just that purpose.
Now, that concludes J. Vernon McGee's commentary on verses 8 through 32. I do have a lengthy commentary from Chuck Smith on these verses. I guess he felt this was the most important part of this chapter.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting as I was listening to Chuck Smith. He often talks about, that our ancestors were barbarians. Basically, they were cave people, up until after the Romans came and invaded us and made us civilized. But up until that point, there was we were living in caves and barbarians. But so that's where Johnny come lately to the scene, and maybe this ours is about to end. But it says went south. And so you'll see that the Chinese is from the Sinite, the descend that son. And he said that some of the people they still use Sin in their name as their as a patriarch. They're a hunter means a tyrant in the face of the Lord. And so I was, we have that today. Apparently, these elites are having hunting parties where that they hunt people, and so that's part of their thing. I guess they get the dopamine up and then drink the blood.
Oh, that's awful.
After hunting them down. So,
that's terrible.
Then, so that's returning again. We're seeing all this return again.
Yeah.
The apostasy of Babylon, the mystery system. Remember, we just got through studying about Babylon. It's going to be rebuilt during the tribulation period, as we were in Revelations, and the Antichrist, and that it will be the seat of his kingdom again, and because this Nimrod is apparently a type of the Antichrist.
And I thought the word Nimrod was used like, he's such a Nimrod.
As like an idiot?
Yeah. I mean, haven't you heard somebody say that before?
I can see people saying that.
Yeah.
Camorus was, let's see, are there? Camorus was the mother queen of heaven. and she claimed that she had a virgin birth of Nimrod, and so he's the type of the Antichrist. He's going to be
Right.
And the hunting, he's hunting with a bow. That was kind of unusual back then. He was actually pretty good with the bow. Hunting a boar, uh, Nimrod was dead for 3 days, and life returned. It's celebrated by coloring uh, eggs in the springtime.
Oh.
And December 25th was his birthday. Is why is some of the interesting facts about Nimrod. Celebrating, giving gifts, drunken orgies, cutting trees and decorating them in silver was some of the things that was part of celebrating his birthday back then. If
That's strange.
Satan's counterfeit of God's created work. One of the things I had a discussion with a pagan one time, a self-proclaimed pagan. He said, "You guys call us pagans," but he's basically into Wiccan. And he pointed out all this to me, and I was like, well, God put in the stars the signs of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if you read the signs, what Jesus is going to be, and so having all these coincidences that are similar to,
Wow.
he's trying
to
to
Christmas.
he's trying to make his counterfeit.
Yeah.
The Antichrist will at least he'll have a head wound. I don't know how dead he will be because the devil nor the Antichrist can raise himself back to life.
Right.
Only Jesus can raise himself back to life. But he'll try to fake this this death for 3 days and resurrection. The Babylonian religion mirrors the historic church, or I guess the historic church has adopted the Babylonian religion, and I assume that the historic church is the Catholic Church as we know it.
Oh yeah.
The Ishtar has various names, and we get our word Easter. It comes from Ishtar.
That's very interesting.
This Babylonian system is thoroughly infiltrated the church, and so we get a lot of our things from this because like I said, the historical church, the Catholic Church, copied the Babylonian religion in the early years, probably around 300 AD, where by the time Constantine put himself as head of the church, they mingled a lot of into it and they perverted it.
Right.
You have the worship of the stars. It was part of the Babylonian religion. That's the reason they built the tower, was to observe the stars and to worship the stars. Was what
they weren't going to worship God. They're worshiping the stars.
Right. And so and from Eber we get our word Hebrew, which is going to be the descendant, the line that leads to Christ out of Seth. Is that Seth? Shem, out of Shem. And so Jobab, what might have been Job, that's listed here. Neither one of them seem to believe in the Pangea, continental drift, that I was taught in Bible school. And this might be, it might have come out of this idea that we see now Israel's saying they're the center of the world. The world revolves around them. Well, Pangea is, if you fit all the plant, if you've ever noticed, you can fit North and South America around Africa or Horn of Africa, and so that would make Israel the geographic center. And so that they drifted apart in the days of Peleg. They disagree with that. It makes much more sense as we go into the next chapter. And it kind of always made more sense to me that it just meant that, their languages were divided. And so
the country, but the languages.
Well, they split up because they couldn't understand each other. They were all there in one place in Babylon. That's the reason you got Nimrod, who's really an African.
Right.
His descendants become that of Africa. So they all break up. They go down to Africa, and the ones we're from, Japheth, goes up to Europe and
takes in England.
Well,
and things like that.
He goes north, I guess.
Okay.
Is the best way of putting it. And then maybe then you have Shem just stays put.
Shem said, "I'm not going anywhere.
We gotta get these people away from Shem."
Yes, exactly.
And so that was interesting, and I can see why that might have been an influence, and why that now, because there's such a making Israel sort of the center of everything these days.
Yeah.
That we might have been taught about Pangea and this one continent theory to promote the idea that Israel's the center of the world. And so, and with that, though, that concludes the reading of God's Word tonight. I hate to leave it on a sour note, but
we don't have to.
But with that, is there? I guess I can see if we had any comments or questions. And since we've been down, it's been Thursday since we.
Yeah.
How many days ago was Thursday?
5.
5
days.
She says it was 5 days ago.
5.
So let's see if we have had any comments in the last 5 days. I don't. Let's see. I think did I already talk about this one? Translate. Oh, Jace. Yes, I did. I had to look that up, didn't I? Mint Lord.
Yeah.
Or something.
I remember you looked it up for me.
Oh no. Some
you looked up
Jace 817 is what they commented. They end with a couple of laughy faces, but it's in Bangladesh language, where there's the one that looks like they have a line and then they write underneath it.
Yes. So, I've seen that.
But he didn't reply. I asked what Jace 817 was, and they didn't reply. So that was the last one that we had. It is kind of a bot-looking channel. They joined 2 months ago and have no subscribers.
Oh, okay.
So that's
a
red flag.
Yeah.
So I don't. But it'd be nice if they would comment with in a way that I could understand what they were saying
in English.
Maybe it is like a book of Buddha or something.
Maybe. You never know.
I googled it and I couldn't find Jace.
Okay.
To explain what that it was. Anyway, so I do encourage you to make comments, ask questions. I do have time to do that, answer those these days. It would be nice if you do that. I will address the comments, the questions and comments where I find them, and then we will also address them on the next Waycast, just like I just did.
Yes.
And so at this time, at least we can handle the quantity that we're getting. If it gets out of hand, I see, podcasters, it's just like a steady stream.
Like
of
Alex
comments and
is
questions,
just like that.
or the typical gamer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Tucker.
and usually it's just them talking to each other in
Yeah.
the comments. So
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
They leave you out.
But-
They've begun their own discussion in the comment
Yeah.
section.
But let
if-
us know. Yeah, we
but if you-
want questions.
But if you want to remain anonymous, and we are a 501c3 company, Christ Recovery Ministry, you can reach us at P.O. Box 336, Berea, Kentucky 40403, 859-339-7633 if you wish to apply. Name and town, and let us know if you wish to remain anonymous, and we will.
Do we still say thumbs
Take
up
your-
and hit the subscribe button?
I haven't done that in a while.
Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We would love to have you.
Now that we have 100,000
Yay!
subscribers,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
not.
We would love to have them.
Well, we will be glad to have you as a subscriber.
And Katie would love to have you too.
So with that, we say, as we always do,
Good night until we meet again. Adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen till then. And oh, it's always sweet sorrow to part.
oh, you'll always remain in my heart.
Good night, sweet time, until we meet again. Here's a wish and a prayer that every dream comes true. And now till we meet again.
Adios, au revoir,
Auf Wiedersehen. Good night.
And don't ever forget, you are truly loved. And with that, we say good night.
Good night, everybody.
Half-hour show, hit songs and fashions through the years. We hope we brought you some pleasant memories. Now, from all of our musical family, good wishes, good health,